Heyo everybody, XCI here for a Let's Play of Mass Effect 1. Here we have Joshua Coyote Shepard. I just took care of a lot of equipment stuff. I sold about half of our stuff. I've got about half mail now. I'm like 400 something. Yeah, 411. So, just a lot of, I just needed to clear those packs. There's a lot of just redundancy going on. I'm tempted to get the best pistol in the game, and I might as well show you because if I'm gonna do it, I might as well do it on camera.
Let's see what you've got. You bet, Commander.
So he's got these like 4 pieces right here, and I don't know how good they are, but I do know that they're, I mean, it's almost maxed out at this line here. The shotgun is maxed out here, so if I wanted to get this for Rex, I could, but that would be half our cash. Whereas the pistol, it's like a quarter of the cash, and it's about, and I use it all the time. So you know what, I am going to do it. I think it's a good investment. And the other thing I wish I could get, but I don't think there's anything here for me, it's human armor. I just need better armor, man. I got this 2180, 28. Okay, so that is a better one. I think I need to see whether or not I can wear medium armor is what I was going to check next. So let's go to squad for some leveling. Tactical armor, let me just read these for a sec here. Unlocks fitness, yeah, okay. So I need to maybe work up to medium armor here. So right now, I'll hold off maybe. Spectre training does what here? Master Unity. Also, this is really good. Actually, that's not even a debate. Let's do that. I wanted to work up sniper rifles next. I don't know why I'm playing it like lightweight like this, where I'm like I'm really putting myself at risk out there by running around without this. But I don't know. I've always liked Joshua Coyote. I always played him with like very light armor. Like he does have to be sort of sly and stuff like that. So maybe I'm taking it too far, and I need to get at least a medium. But anyways, I do want sniper rifles up there. So that's it for that. We have some codexes and some journals. So let's. Ooh boy, there's quite a few things that lit up here. Let's do some of this today.
The whole world and capital of humanity is entering a new golden age. The resource wealth of a dozen settled colonies and 100 industrial outposts flows back to Earth, fueling great works of industry, commerce, and art. The great cities are greening as arcology skyscrapers and telecommuting allow more efficient use of land. Earth is still divided among nation-states, though all are affiliated beneath the overarching banner of the Systems Alliance. While every human enjoys a longer and better life than ever, the gap between rich and poor widens daily. Advanced nations have eliminated most genetic disease and pollution. Less fortunate regions have not progressed beyond 20th century technology and are often smog-choked, overpopulated slums. Sea levels have risen 2 meters in the last 200 years, and violent weather is common due to environmental damage inflicted during the late 21st century. The past few decades, however, have seen significant improvement due to recent technological advances. Pharos is a habitable world in the Attican Beta Cluster. 2/3 of the habitable surface is covered with the ruins of a crumbling Prothean megatropolis. In the millennia since the Prothean extinction, the ruins have been repeatedly picked over by looters many times. Pharos was considered a poor prospect for colonization, as little open ground remains for agriculture. The only sizable freshwater sources are the poles, which are tapped by the decaying Prothean aqueduct systems. The dead cities, while in good condition considering their antiquity, are of uncertain stability. Ground level is congested by a dozen meters of fallen debris, and the air is fouled by dust. In 2178, the Human Exogeny Corporation announced its intention to place a permanent colony on Pharos to thoroughly explore the ruins. The pioneer settlement was placed on the upper levels of several intact skyscrapers, using the surviving Prothean aqueducts and rooftop hydroponic gardens to support the population. Vermeer is a lush world located on the frontier of the Attican Traverse. Its vast seas and orbital position on the inner life zone have created a wide equatorial band of humid, tropical terrain. Only the political instability of the region has impeded efforts at colonization. Many times the Citadel has opened negotiations to settle Vermeer with various criminal gangs and petty dictatorships in the nearby Terminus systems. all fell apart due to internal power shifts within the opposing parties. The Citadel has written off the colonization of Virmire as impossible without significant political change. The Terminus powers themselves are unlikely to ever settle Virmire. Most lack the resources to support settlement of a virgin world, finding it more expedient to steal from their neighbors than build for themselves.
Wonderful place. We have ships and vehicles. We've done the Normandy, so it's a Sovereign here.
Sovereign is the flagship of the rogue Spectre's Saren. An enormous dreadnought larger than any other ship in any known fleet, it is crewed with both Geth and Krogan. At 2 kilometers long, its spinal-mounted main gun is likely capable of penetrating another dreadnought's kinetic barriers with a single shot. How Saren acquired this incredible warship is unknown. The prevailing opinion is that Sovereign is a Geth construct, while others believe it is a Prothean relic. Its design, however, hints at a more alien and mysterious origin. The attack on Eden Prime demonstrated Sovereign's ability to generate mass effect fields powerful enough to land on a planetary surface. This implies it has a massive Element Zero core and the ability to generate staggering amounts of power.
Like, what the hell could this thing be? It does sort of make sense that it's like some super evolved Geth thing. Or Geth mixed with Pro, I don't know. If it's in this game, I forget.
Combat hard suits use a
mass accelerator.
A mass accelerator propels a solid metal slug using precisely controlled electromagnetic attraction and repulsion. The slug is designed to squash or shatter on impact, increasing the energy it transfers to the target. If this were not the case, it would simply punch a hole right through, doing minimal damage. Accelerator design was revolutionized by Element Zero. A slug lightened by a mass effect field can be accelerated to greater speeds, permitting projectile velocities that were previously unattainable. If accelerated to a high enough velocity, a simple paint chip can impact with the same destructive force as a nuclear weapon.
Jesus.
However, mass accelerators produce recoil equal to their impact energy. This is mitigated somewhat by the mass effect fields that rounds are suspended within. But weapon recoil is still the prime limiting factor on slug velocity.
Ooh-wee. And we got a lot of secondary. I'm going to only do a few of these. Let's just start at the top, sure. We have the Asari religion. The pantheistic mainstream Asari religion is Siari, which translates roughly as all is one. The faithful agree on certain core truths. The universe is consciousness. Every life within it is an aspect of the greater whole, and death is a merging of one's spiritual energy back into the greater universal consciousness. Siarists don't specifically believe in reincarnation. They believe that spiritual energy returned to the universal consciousness upon death will eventually be used to fill new mortal vessels. Siari became popular after the Asari left their homeworld and discovered their ability to meld with nearly any form of life. This ability is seen as proof that all life is fundamentally similar. Siari priestesses see their role as promoting unity between the disparate shards of the universe's awareness. And before the rise of Siari pantheism, Asari religions were as diverse as their political opinions. The strongest survivor of those days is a monotheistic religion worshipping the goddess Athame. Like the Asari, the goddess cycles through the triple aspects of maiden, matron, and matriarch. We have the Solarian Special Task Group. I'm actually interested in this one. The Solarian Intelligence Field Agents are grouped into an organization called the Special Task Group, STG. Operators work in independent cells, performing dangerous missions such as counterterrorism, infiltration, reconnaissance, assassinations, and sabotage. The STG is a proactive organization puncturing worrisome trends before they become movements. At any time, a dozen groups are operating covertly within the lawless Terminus systems, sowing dissent among the various factions. Civilian analysts also note how troublesome hinge-point individuals in Terminus frequently meet unexpected deaths. STG operators are feared throughout the galaxy for their clear-eyed, remorseless practicality. They are willing to do whatever it takes to achieve their mission, even if it kills civilians or results in the team's own destruction. In many ways, they are akin to the Council Spectres. Recently, a number of SCG cells have been redeployed from Solarian Union. It is assumed they are in Terminus and Attican Traverse, investigating reports of Geth activity beyond the Perseus Veil. Turian biology. The Turian homeworld Palavan has a metal poor core generating a weak magnetic field and allowing more solar radiation into the atmosphere. To deal with this, most forms of life on Palavan evolve some form of metallic exoskeleton to protect themselves. They reflect... Oh, interesting. That's what it is. Their reflective plate-like skin makes Turians less susceptible to long-term low-level radiation exposure, but they do not possess any sort of natural armor. A Turian's thick skin does not stop projectiles and directed energy bolts. Although life on Palavan is carbon-based and oxygen-breathing, it is built on dextroamino acids. This places the Turians in a distinct minority on the galactic stage. The Quarians are the only other known sapient dextroprotein race. The food of humans, Asari or Solarians, who evolved in levoamino acid-based biospheres, will at best pass through Turian systems without providing any nutrition. At worst, it will trigger an allergic reaction that can be fatal if not immediately treated. Man, sucks to be you guys, man. We have aliens, extinct races. Let's check out the Mars ruins. After 20 years of manned research outposts and nearly a century of robotic exploration, the European Space Agency's Lowell City became the first permanent settlement on Mars in 2103. Within a decade, the United States and China had founded permanent settlements as well. The South Pole region of Promethae Planum developed a Bermuda Triangle reputation. Satellites detected intermittent mass concentrations and magnetic field shifts. In 2148, prospectors working near Desato crater discovered an underground complex, a Prothean observation post. The odd phenomena were generated by the operation and discharge of a Mass Effect core, struggling to function despite 50 millennia of neglect. Earth was electrified by the news. Humanity was unequivocally not alone. While courts battled over who owned the ruins, the intergalactic scientific community coordinated a massive effort to access, translate, and interpret the databanks recovered from the facility. The facility proved to be a biosciences observation post built when Homo sapiens were first evolving on Earth. While the motives of the Protheans are not certain, translated records indicate that the facility was in regular communication with automated observation platforms in Earth orbit and on the lunar near side. The half-dozen Mass Effect spaceships found in the facility were presumably used for first-hand observations, so aliens were visiting Earth in early... I think there was a comment somewhere else where like the Hanar, that's why their whole belief system is that the Protheans went out there, or the Enkindlers, that's it, that they jump-started the sapient races to evolve. So yeah, that would make sort of sense to that history. We have aliens, non-council races. We'll do this as the last piece here. We got Krogan Culture. The harsh Krogan homeworld conditioned the Krogan's psychology for toughness just as it did the body. Krogans have always had a tendency to be selfish, unsympathetic, and blunt. They respect strength and self-reliance and are neither surprised nor offended by treachery. The weak and selfless do not live long in their culture. Looking out for number one is simply a matter of course. After their defeat in the rebellions, the very concept of Krogan leadership was discredited. Where a warlord could once command enough power to bring entire solar systems to heel and become overlord, these days it is rare for a single leader to have more than 1,000 warriors swear allegiance to him. Most Krogan trust and serve no one but themselves. This solitary attitude stems in part from a deep sense of fatalism and futility, a profound social effect of the genophage that caused the Krogan numbers to dwindle to a relative handful. Not only are they angry that the entire galaxy seems out to get them, the Krogan are also genetically pessimistic about their race's chances of survival. The surviving Krogan see no point to building a future. The surviving Krogan see no point to building for the future. There will be no future. The Krogan live with an attitude of kill, pillage, and be selfish, for tomorrow we die. I'm wondering, why don't they hook up with the Asaris and just start fixing... Oh, right, because the Asari just birth other Asaris or something. Right, well, that won't fix things. And we have the military doctrine of the Krogan. Traditional Krogan tactics were built on attritional mass unit warfare. Equipped with cheap, rugged gear, troop formations were powerful but inflexible. Command and control was very centralized. Soldiers in the field who saw a target contacted their commanders behind the lines to arrange fire support. Since the Genophage, the Krogan can no longer afford the casualties of the old Horde attacks. The Battle Masters are a match for any 10 soldiers of another species. To a Battle Master, killing is a science. They focus on developing a clean, brute force economy of motion that exploits their brutal strengths to incapacitate enemies with a swift single blow of overwhelming power. The change of focus from mass unit warfare to maximal efficiency has increased employment demand in the fields of security and muscle for hire. Due to the unsavory reputation of the Krogan, most of these jobs are on the far side of the law. Battle Masters are not spit and polish, but they do believe in being well armed and equipped, preferably with a gun for each limb. They are callous and brutal, but methodical and disciplined. They use any means at their disposal to achieve their goals, no matter how reprehensible. Hostage-taking and genocide are acceptable means to ensure a quiet occupation with few Krogan casualties. No wonder you got to where you are today, Krogans. So the Krogans serving with Saren's forces appear to be returning to the old style of mass attritional combat. They also work in close cooperation with supporting Geth units, who fill the roles occupied by combat drones and other armies. Biotics are rare among the Krogan. Those that exist are viewed with suspicion and fear. The Krogan see this aura of fear as a useful quality for an officer and often promote them. Combat drones and other high-tech equipment are likewise in short supply. So that positions Rex to be in a very good place to get some power in their social structure. We got some Quarian stuff too. I thought I was finishing. I do want to do the alien stuff, so I'm going to do the Quarians as well. We got law and defense. Although the Conclave establishes civil law, much as any planet-based democracy, enforcement and trials are more unique. After the flight from the Geth, there were few constables to police the millions of civilians aboard the fleet, so the Navy parceled out Marine squads to maintain order and enforce the law. Today, Quarian Marines have evolved training and tactics akin to civilian police, but remain adept at combat in the confined spaces of a starship and fully under the command of the military. Once taken into custody, the accused is brought before the ship's captain for judgment. While the ship's council may make recommendations, traditions hold that the captain has absolute authority in matters of discipline. Most are lenient, assigning additional or more odious maintenance tasks aboard the ship. Persistent recidivists, I don't know what that is, are accidentally left on the next habitable world. I guess the guys who commit the folks who commit the crimes are abandoned on hospitable worlds. Well, that's sort of humane, I guess. At least they're hospitable worlds. This practice of abandoning criminals on other people's planets is a point of friction between the Quarians and the systems they pass through. Captains rarely have another choice. With space and resources at a premium, supporting a non-productive prison population is not an option. I see. Very cool. In the early years, many Quarian freighters were armed and used as irregular privateers. Civilian ships still show a strong preference for armament, making them unpopular targets for pirates. Though they have rebuilt their military, there are still mere hundreds of warships to protect tens of thousands of ships. The Quarian Navy follows strict routines of patrol and takes no chances. If the intent of an approaching ship can't be ascertained, they shoot to kill. And then we have the religion of the Quarians. The ancient Quarians practiced ancestor worship. Even after abandoning faith for secularism, Quarians continued to revere the wisdom of the elders. As time passed and technology advanced, they inevitably turned their knowledge to preserving the personalities and memories of the elderly as computer virtual intelligences. Interesting, because that's sort of, you're not supposed to do that on the Citadel, right? You can't make copies of people or something. Anyways, these recordings became a repository of knowledge and wisdom, stored in a central data bank and available through any extranet connection. That also might be why there's the whole people think that they're part cyborg or something like that, probably because they do this. I don't know. They held no illusions that this was a form of immortality, that all virtual intelligence, their electronically preserved ancestors, were not truly sapient. This was considered a surmountable problem. Sapience could surely be reduced to simple mathematics. Interesting. The Quarians began exhaustive research into creating artificial intelligence so they could learn to escape the bounds of mortality and give their ancestral records to true awareness. Is this what led to the Geth stuff? Hold on. Unfortunately, the life the Quarians created did not accept the same truths they did. The Geth destroyed the ancestor databanks when they took over. Damn. In the centuries since, they evacuated their home world. Most Quarians have returned to religion in various forms. Many believe that the rise of the Geth and the destruction of their ancestors were chastisement for arrogantly forsaking the old ways, interesting, and venerating self-made idols. I like everything about this more than I didn't. Wow, cool. Others have a more philosophical outlook, believing that their race was indeed arrogant, but no supernatural agency lay behind the Geth revolt. Rather, the Quarians' actions wrought their own doom. Either way, every Quarian would agree that their own hubris cost them their home world. That's so cool. Okay, we'll do the rest in another playthrough. I can't believe that this is actually pretty much a whole episode here. Whoops. Well, I mean, it had to be done. I like to spread those out just so that I get context as I go. You know, I might as well do some more talking this episode, see if something happened here.
Commander, what can I do for you?
There is more, okay.
Something bothering you?
It's Saren. I'm starting to wonder whether we'll ever find him.
Well, we're on our way,
He's
buddy.
always one step ahead of us, and he's got those damn Geth.
We're getting close, Garrus. We'll find him.
I wish I had your confidence. I just can't stand the thought of him getting away with everything he's done. I know you're doing everything you can, and if anyone can catch him, it's you, but if there's anything else I can do to help, anything, just tell me what you want me to do, and I'll do it.
I understand your concern, but we'll find him. Just make sure you're ready to go when we do.
Yes, sir. I'll be ready. Can I ask you something, Commander?
What is it?
Are you worried that the Council might be protecting Saren? I mean, they were really dragging their heels before. What if we find him, bring him back to the Citadel, and they refuse to act?
Everyone's a little sketch about the whole thing. It's not just...
I get the feeling this isn't a question. Speak your mind, Garrus.
Yeah, man, off the record, let's go.
Maybe we shouldn't give them the chance, Commander.
Whoa.
In my opinion, Saren's too dangerous to be kept alive. Too much could happen.
He's not being kept alive.
He could escape, or the Council might let him go. If we find him, when we find him, I say we make sure we stop him permanently.
Boom.
I'm glad you see it that way. I never had any intention of capturing that bastard. When I see him, he dies.
Good. The Council won't like it, but they can't stop you either.
Man, I'm liking this conversation.
See, this is why I want to be a Spectre.
Ooh.
You never have to worry about bureaucratic idiots making a mess of everything.
Just make sure you're ready when it happens.
Yes, sir.
I like it. Let's talk to Ashley again, I suppose. Let's do a rounds here. Yeah, why not?
Skipper. Any interest in a small drink?
Interesting.
It's a special occasion.
Oh, okay. Wait, occasion?
What's the occasion?
It's Armistice Day, when the First Contact War ended. My family always marks it. Since I'm the only Williams aboard, I thought I'd ask you.
You can't think I'm the most patriotic person on the ship.
I'm really
Maybe not. Maybe I'd rather share this with you. You ever consider that? Don't tell me you don't know about my family. My commanders always find out. It's not in my files or something?
Well, I don't know. I don't think this game told me anything about this, so I'm not going to say I don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't have time to look into this.
I'm General Williams' granddaughter, the commander of the Shanxi garrison in the war. The only human ever to surrender to an alien race.
Oh, okay. Now I understand why you're a racist. Okay, hold on. Yeah, let's see.
I see. That's why you drive yourself so hard.
A Williams has to be better than the best, if only to avoid suspicion. That's what my dad told me the night before he retired. Takes a special kind of thick-headed to march into a job where your family's blacklisted. I did it anyway. I'm not gonna let our name go down with Arnold and Quisling. Granddad deserved better than that.
What happened to your grandfather after the war?
He was relieved of command as soon as Shanxi was liberated. They brought him back to Earth in irons, but there was never a trial. They quietly demoted him and stuck him behind a desk. He retired a year later and spent the rest of his life working construction in the colonies. Sometimes we hear about attempts to get him exonerated in some official way. Nothing ever comes of them.
As I recall, your grandfather held out for a long time.
The Turians wrecked the orbitals in the first wave and occupied the major cities. They sat in orbit, dropping rocks on anything that moved. Granddad dispersed the troops, but when they went into the cities for supplies, the Turians would wreck a block to eliminate one fire team. Civilians were dying, his troops were starving, and he couldn't contact Alliance High Command. So he surrendered the garrison.
I should have figured this out myself. I don't know how I can help you, though.
Look at who I am, Shepard. Do you ever hear me ask for help?
Nope.
It's not that bad things don't happen.
I like you.
If you stay with me long enough, maybe I'll tell you about some of them. But I deal with them myself. I don't need a shoulder to cry on, a knight to rescue me, or a man to make me happy. This is who I am. I like her. And you better like her too.
I sort of
you
do.
Still interested in me? Baggage and all?
I like the chat.
Everyone comes with baggage, Ash. The trick is finding a matched set.
That's awful. Tell me you got that out of a fortune cookie. But hey, once we save the galaxy, maybe the Alliance will get its act together. Start acting like an actual government.
It has its sort of... It's Ashley's and whatever that other guy's name was that came and checked out the ship and talked trash about aliens. I mean, that's not going to help anything, especially if we're trying to be part of like the galactic community. But let's start.
We better get going then. Seems I've got something to look forward to after we're done.
More than you know. I have a feeling things will come to a head soon.
Are we still doing that drink, man?
Shepard.
Did I just...
I'll protect you.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Okay, I don't think I asked.
You mean the
this,
Rachni, right?
No, I didn't.
Like I said, the I think
no, I don't want to hear this again. You're doing... Where's that drink?
Later, Williams.
Oh man,
Looking forward to it, Skipper.
We're gonna have that drink though, right, Ashley? Ashley.
Commander.
Okay.
We'll talk later, Williams.
Damn it. I'm gonna assume that drink happened. Okay, let's work our way. Let's check out Telly here. My favorite person to talk to. Hey,
It
Telly.
feels like we're getting near the end, doesn't it, Shepard? With Saren, I mean.
It won't be much longer. One way or another, it'll all be over soon.
You'll find the conduit before he does. I know you will. You have to. And after this is all over, when my pilgrimage ends and I go back to my own people, I'll be proud to say I was a part of it.
We couldn't have done this without you, Telly.
You've been good to me. A lot of people treat Quarians like second-class citizens. They just want us to go back to our fleet and disappear. But you've treated me just like everyone else on your crew. Like an equal. That means a lot, and it says something about you. Whatever happens, I just want to say thank you for that.
I didn't bring you along as a favor, Telly. You're here because you contribute to the mission, and I need all the help I can get on this one.
Don't worry. You can always count on me.
I should go.
Seeing you around, Telly.
See you later.
Bye. Let's talk to Kaden again. It looks like something triggered like back to back. Maybe I should have talked to them sooner or something. Like this kick off that the first time that they all had something to say to me.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
No, I didn't I?
Killing Saren's,
no? Okay, here we go.
Second in command? Advisor?
Well, I don't know.
Anyway, it should set him back a bit. I'm sure Dr. Tassoni's hurting, though. Poor kid. Having to kill her own mom.
Yeah, what do you think about
Any opinion on the Rachni?
That
off the record?
I let free.
If we had the option, I'd as soon have left it to the Council. We weren't out here during the Rachni War. I'm not sure we have any business getting involved.
Maybe. You might have a point there, but...
We'll talk another time, Lieutenant.
Commander?
Thanks for your opinion. See, I can disagree with an opinion and not want to kill you. And then we have, let's check in on our buddy here, again. Just double checking. Make sure you weren't lying to me about not being heard about your mother.
I get the feeling you want to ask me something, Commander.
I like talking with you, Liara, no matter what the subject.
Let's make this awkward,
Then let
Coyote.
us talk about you. Are you okay?
Okay. I have nightmares.
I'm not sleeping well. The visions keep me up at night.
I wish there was something I could do to help you. You need to be at your best, Commander. The crew relies on you for leadership. It can be a heavy burden.
I've got broad shoulders.
I have no doubt about that. But can they carry the weight of an entire galaxy? If we don't stop Saren...
we'll stop Saren.
Never mind.
Don't even say it.
I'm sorry, Commander. The last thing you need is someone constantly reminding you of how grim things are. Is there anything else you would rather talk about?
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
Goodbye, Liara. Okay, back to the bridge we go. And prepare for a jump. I don't know where we're going next. Maybe we'll do some more personal quests, I guess. Well, I guess I'm doing the rotation, so it's whatever planet comes first. I want to look on the map just real quick. I'll read the quests over between episodes here. I just want to remember what some of these systems are that we got to go to. So we did... Yeah, Tantau is done. This whole thing is done. Phoenix is done. Ro is done. And we're back here. So we made it to here. Like, for example, did I miss something in Exodus? I don't know, but we're going to do, I think, this one next. Let's just go to Gemini Cygna. Ming and Han. Let's go to the Han. I think it's Han, isn't it? Let's start on the left. Get ourselves set up. I shall do a sweep of this now, sure. Let's just do Pentatanalis. Survey it for some beryllium. We have Farkrothu. We have Mavigon, which we can land on. We have Paraven, which we will survey. Matriarch's writings recovered. Scans of Paraven revealed an unmanned station in geosynchronous orbit. Your salvage team found no evidence on the origins of the station, but they did find one of Matriarch Delanaga's writings on board. And finally we have Huningto. Alright, I think that leaves us with a landing for next episode. Alright guys, don't forget to explore, engage, and inspire. I will catch y'all next time. Peace everybody.